below me. This big. It's a bit of a KINA BARREN down there.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. We are here in Pohara Top 10 Holiday Park and we are rapidly losing the light, so I'm going to be telling you the story of this dive. We tried out some traditional rod fishing here and we were kind of lucky. On the first day it was fairly sunny and good weather and we were keen to get out there. Water is a wee bit choppy though. First thing was to do some trolling, so took the old fishing rod that's up there on the top of the roof rack, had a lure on it, and we did like a big figure 8 around the 2 islands around the Tata Peninsula. Alright, well we just went around both islands, tried to troll, no bites, nothing. A couple of other fishing boats out there, didn't see much either from them. And it's a wee bit choppy out there too. Unfortunately, just nothing was biting. Now the frustrating thing is that I know that the fish are there, because subsequently I would find out. Well, found a shady spot. And it's nice and calm in this little spot close to the island, but man, there is nothing biting today. There's just nothing. So we head in and we just have a little break, and then I'm switching over the rod and going to from a lure to bait. Now we're just between the 2 islands now, just drifting. I haven't had a single bite, nothing at all. So we head back around the peninsula. So we get to the mussel farm, and the waves are still rocking and rolling, and the first thing that happens is the line gets snagged and all these seagulls swoop in, and because they all think I've got a fish on, because I'm like, ah! And we figured, alright, we'll try again. Put on the vertical kabura lure, the sliding one, goes bobs up and down, and then that one gets snagged as well. Oh. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, it's snagged again. But thankfully it popped loose. And after that, after all that, we just figured, alright, let's head back. Bouncing across those damn waves again and headed back. So a couple of days later, after some rain and some wind, it finally calms down. And so the ocean is flat and we get about a half a day of flat ocean. So head out there. At this point we've actually got the boat on my brother-in-law's trailer. We're heading off down the road to the boat ramp with the boat on the back of the trailer, which is really cool. I've never seen that before. My boat on the back of a trailer. So we get to the boat ramp, launch the boat. Well, gonna go snorkel around some rocks where there's no crayfish, but we're just gonna pretend like there's some crayfish there.
Go for a look.
We head out to one of the islands and I finally get a chance to do a dive. And as soon as I jump in the water, it's like 4 to 6 meters of visibility, and there's this great big wrasse about that big right underneath me. I don't know whether the video picked it up, but it's like, holy shit, why didn't I bring a spear gun into the water with me? The benefit of hindsight, you know.
There's that abandoned raft right below me. This big. Wish I brought a spear gun.
And then I swim around, and this is the very first time I've swam in a KINA BARREN before. And on the one hand, as a diver, it's nice because being able to actually see the rocks is good, but actually being able to see the rocks like that is not the sign of a healthy reef. because then you see all the kinas.
Just like that.
There's lots of kinas everywhere. Now again, right, this is my first time diving in a KINA barren, so I don't have the experience of really knowing what I'm looking at. I've seen other people's YouTube videos, so I get excited. It's like, oh geez, look at all the kinas. I pop out of the water and it's like, hey Barry, look at the 2 kinas. So I got this crayfish net in my hand and I start collecting kinas. Dive down, grab a kina, grab another kina, head back up. Oh, grab some mussels, pull a few mussels off the rocks, dive down, grab another kina, grab another kina. Now none of this is actually my target. I'm not looking specifically just for kina. I'm hoping to find crayfish. I'm pretty sure that there are crayfish there, but you've got to be willing to put in the time to have a good look around. I was only in the water for 15 or 20 minutes. We were on a wee bit of a timetable. Couldn't really stay in there forever. And I didn't want to dive down too deep because I didn't have another diver in the water with me. I just had Barry on the boat and Barry was watching me. I didn't have a diver in the water with me, so didn't want to descend too long, too deep, and didn't want to stay underwater too long for each one of the dives. I'm looking around and there's infinite places that crayfish could be hiding. There's big underwater boulders, and I'm diving down underneath the boulders and stuff through little mini caves and stuff. Quite cool. But after pulling some mussels off and pulling some kinas off and coming up with this big bag of kinas that have very little roe in them, by the way. I don't realise this at the time, but we head up and we head back, and it's like mission accomplished. I take it you do.
Okay, here we go.
That's easier. Diving. Getting it back on there.
That was a bloody good dive. It's a bit of a KINA barren down there. You know, the KINA just eating everything. But there are mussels and there's a lot of wrasse down there. Heaps of fish, honestly. Mostly small ones, but yeah, some of them are big like that.
Any snapper?
No.
No.
Wrasse, but lots of them. I think if you were going to fish, here's as good a spot as any. If you're not fussy and wrasse is alright. And a haul. We've got some KINAs. Coco will be happy. Hoping to find crayfish there, but that was a successful KINA dive. Oatman barrier is going to take us back now, just as it's starting to become a bit choppy. I got to get up front because I'm the heaviest so we can get on a plane. Well, it wasn't the dive I expected, but it's the dive we got. We got the KINA barren dive, doing a bit for pest control.
Later that evening we go down to the fish filleting station, and there is another guy there, and he's filleting snapper, and he's got a whole pile of snapper in front of him, and he's got you know, those little plastic containers, and he's filling up all the snapper, and all the snapper are like just reaching minimum size 25 centimeters, which is the current size here in the Challenger area. And he's like, oh, KINAs, oh, what's the deal with those? And I said, oh, well, they come from a KINA barren. And he's like, well, what's a KINA barren? And then I have to explain.
Yeah, so because the KINA eat all the seaweed, there's nothing for them to grow, so they all end up small like this.
Hello.
And they just end up a pest.
Anyway, we get the roe out of those KINAs, and it's like half a teaspoon of roe per KINA.
Pretty lean KINAs, aren't they? They're just the baby little pest.
Like I said, we did our bit for pest control. Oh, it's a far cry from what I found in that, you know, a couple of KINAs I got at Kaikoura. Anyway, that was my first dive in a KINA barren. Interesting experience. We've got another video coming up, and the next one's about oysters. Opening up some of our oysters from this afternoon.